Hi guys and welcome to today's video. Now this video is going to show you how to get this autumnal look on my face. Now this is basically a rose gold kind of quite striking eyes, and then obviously plum lips, which is totally all that autumn is about at the moment, and also obviously fall. If you guys are in America you won't know what I'm talking about with autumn. So this is going to be including quite a few kind of high-end products, but obviously you guys can change them just to get a bit of an idea. So it's just some staple stuff that maybe you might want to use, like eye palettes and lip colours, and everything else you can kind of mix in with other things. You can use a lot of drugstore stuff, but I'm just showing you my super kind of lovely look for tonight. Now I'm going more glamorous because I'm actually going out tonight, so this is kind of a nighttime sort of look, but you can sort of dull it down a little bit for during the day. So first I'm using my Illamasqua matte primer. I absolutely love this on my face because it doesn't feel too greasy and it just keeps my makeup in place all day. So I'm just popping that all over my skin, including my eyes as well. Then I'm using my Makeup Academy Pro Base Eye Primer, and this is just to basically stick my eyeshadow onto, and I find this works superly well. Even though it's really cheap, it's amazing. Next I'm using my MAC Electric Cool eyeshadow in Gilded Thrill. This is just really sparkly and super nice underneath my eyeshadow, so I just use it as kind of a base. Next I'm using my lightest shade, the shimmery shade, from my Charlotte Tilbury La Dolce Vita palette, and this is just to put all over my eyelids. Then I'm going to work in the brown sort of goldy shade, just using a tapered blending brush, and this is just going to kind of smudge the brown into my eyes. And then finally I'm going to use another tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to add the other two colours, the two darker colours, into the very sort of corner of my eyes, and just blend that towards the middle of the eye, just to create a really nice smoky look. Then I'm taking my Bobbi Brown Corrector in light to medium bisque, and I'm using a concealer brush just to pop it onto my hand first and then onto just the underneath my eyes to kind of get rid of any bags or dark circles. If you pop this on before you put on your concealer, then it really helps to kind of disguise any spots and dark circles and nastiness. Then I'm taking my Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer, and this one is just in Ivory, and I'm just doing exactly the same as I did with the concealer, with the corrector, and I'm just putting it under my eyes and then again on the spots. Then I'm taking my Pro Airbrush concealer brush, and I'm just kind of buffering all that in, so blending it all into the creases of my eyes and just again on the spots just to even it out. Then I'm taking my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and I actually use two shades, so I use NW20 and NW25. And I'm just applying it with my Real Technique stippling brush. Then I'm using my Laguna bronzer, which is by Nars, and this is just using a big powder brush just all over my face to sort of blend in, and if I want to then obviously my neck down. Then I'm using my Bobbi Brown bronzer. Now this is actually for contouring, and this is in Golden Light, so I'm just using a contouring brush just to kind of highlight my cheekbones and just any other areas where the sunlight would hit. Next for my cheeks, I'm using my Sheertone Shimmer Blush by MAC, which is in Ambering Rose, just using an angled blusher brush to just buffer the nice colour into my face. Then I am using my highlighter, which is by Nars, and it's in Albatross, and I just use a highlighter brush just to go underneath the eyes. Then I'm using my Benefit They're Real Push-Up Liner. I absolutely love this gel liner. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but you can create amazing flicks with it, and it is so easy to use, as you can see. Then I'm finally going to take a pencil brush, and I'm just going to use the two darker shades from the Charlotte Tilbury palette that I used before, just to sort of line my bottom lashes and just to create a little bit more of a smoky effect underneath, and it looks really pretty. Then I'm using my Too True Flasheyes mascara. This is really good at separating lashes. I absolutely love it. I'm only applying a thin coat though, because I will be adding false lashes on top of this. Then I'm going to take my Eye Kohl pencil by MAC, which is in Smolder, and just use this kind of along the bottom lashes, so like the inner lash line of my eyes. This just creates a more drastic, sort of dramatic look, and just makes it look really lovely for the evening. Then I'm going to glue my false lashes using duo adhesive and set them aside just to use later. Next I'm using my Collection Work the Colour eyebrow kit, and just using the brow gel just to separate my brows. Then I'm going to use the darkest shade using a little slanted brush just to kind of get the shape that I want with my brows and make them really nice and dark. Now I'm going to line my lips using my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat lip pencil, which is in Savage Rose, and this is kind of just going to go all over the lip. So I start off just by kind of drawing along the outside of the lip, and then I just fill it in with the shade of the colour, just so it kind of sticks the lipstick to, and also it creates a stronger colour. I didn't want one quite as strong as the actual lipstick itself, so this kind of lightens and brightens it up a little bit. Then I use my Charlotte Tilbury Glastonbury lipstick, and this is a really nice purpley sort of plum colour, and this is what's going to give you those perfect plum lips. And this just goes on top of the lip cheat pencil and just creates a really lovely sort of berry look. It's so easy to use. For a beautiful plum colour on top, I'm using my Chanel Rouge Allure gloss, which is in number 21 Distinction, and this is a really lovely plum sort of glossy colour, and just again like really brings out that plum colour in the lips. Finally, I'm going back to my eyelashes, which are by Eyelure. These are the Nadine lashes by Girls Aloud, and I absolutely love them because they just create loads of volume and look super classy. Now don't worry about the white line because it will disappear eventually. And then this is my finished look. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys can create this look again for yourselves. If you do try anything similar, then please drop me a tweet or an Instagram below, tag me, and all my details are in the down bar below. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Now, like I said, this is a little bit of a darker look, so it is kind of for the night time, and of course the products are probably a little bit more expensive than I would normally use, but it's just for a glamorous event, and I hope you guys can kind of mix in your own stuff as well. Of course, I am not a makeup artist, so this is just me experimenting. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and please remember to give this video a massive thumbs up for me, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already, and I'll see you guys in a few days time in my next video. Bye! This is how tiny they are. Look at them. I can like literally see through them. Hello, they're like glasses, and then you just kind of, they're just really springy, and you just